All right, good morning and welcome for you that are early birds. Today we're going to talk a little bit about waiting lists. So, as a few introductions, my name is Jay. I am the owner of Section8Consulting.com. I am now retired as of January 1st. It's 26 years in the field. So, what I'm doing is I'm slowly releasing all the tools and other things that I used throughout my career. I had to vet a lot of information in order to be able to provide accurate information to many people or a channel. I think there's around 70,000 to 100,000 people that watch my channel. And so today's another day, another revelation, I guess, where I'm releasing information. So it looks like you guys can hear and see me well. That means we're not going to have a crazy morning where there's been some update or plug-in that's changed on YouTube. So in this video, for the beginning part, we'll be talking about waiting lists, and I'm going to address a few cities, the ones in the most states. I'm sorry. So I'm going to address California and New York. Okay, and there's no way for me to cover 400 open waiting lists, but I will say this: you should have expected this. The U.S. government was closed more than it seemed like it was open during 2025, especially at the end. I know I had a lot of clients that had casework and they bitched and moaned as if I had control over what the president was doing, whether or not I had control over what Congress funded or defunded. And then, of course, they wanted me to perform miracles during a 43-day shutdown when nothing was open, and then had further tantrums when we arrived at holidays when most housing authorities ran out of money. They had just been affected by a 43-day shutdown. And then, of course, like any housing authority in America, they cook their books in the year. They're out of money. They're not going to be open. So I just had another client do that, and I terminated his ass because when you reach a point dealing with a person from our company and they're not even able to read the reading on the words on the wall, basically, that it was a troubling time, then there's nothing I can do with that person. It's just a level of ignorance I can no longer match. So today I'm going to release a little bit of information. This is not a well-hidden secret. It's well vetted, I'll say that. So many of you might argue that affordable housing online is a good resource. For those of you that have been out there looking at open waiting lists, let me tell you something. Affordable housing online is the former Go Section 8, for those of you who really have had vouchers for an extended period of time. It is not a very good resource, okay? I'm going to be upfront. That company was, again, Go Section 8 bought out affordable housing online, and now it's just a chaotic mess. It's really not that accurate, and it's turning into another, hot mess where you can't tell what's open, what's closed. And so I never really used it. I recommended it here and there for people that just simply wanted to check. So that will not be the topic of the video. That is not the elephant in the room. We're going to talk about another company that is for profit, that's doing a fantastic job and can give you real-time updates. I do recommend, guys, that you create a fictitious email. And I'm going to make a few other recommendations. Websites like Affordable Housing Online and the one I'm fixing to recommend, do not click on the ads, okay? There are lots of people from other countries that place ads on these websites, and they love nothing more to get in your desperation to find housing to get you to sign up for some bullshit, okay? When you do that, they'll have enough to go out and buy, use your credit to go buy a Lincoln or a brand new truck, steal your information, then sell it. And the next thing you know, you're going to have somebody from India contact you. It's going to need you to get a gift card at CVS. Do not click on any of that shit, okay? Please do not click on ads. Watch where you're clicking. Create a fictitious email, not so you can sign up for the housing authority itself. Your site, this site does require a login if you're going to get the information, but you could just as easily Google the housing authority website just based on what the information they're giving, and then go directly to the website, okay? So be very careful. Anytime a housing authority has a .gov, you're okay. A .com is okay. Where you get questionables, .net, and all the others, okay? Be very leery of that. Remember something. People that engage in cybercrime, they're very good at what they do. They can make websites and clone a housing authority website better than the poor old housing authority with no money. And often I find that on Google will feature cyber criminals, clone websites at much higher. Why? Because these people are already experts in the internet. They understand to make things rank high. And so it's important you make sure you know where the fuck you are. So when you look it up, verify. If it doesn't have a Google listing, then you're dealing with somebody possibly in the rainforest of China, on a Elon Musk's signal. Okay, so please don't just click everything. I've got lots of clients. Oh, well, I know best, and they call me back. Well, I don't understand why 51 emails suggesting that I won the lottery, but they need a $2,000 deposit. That's why. You click every fucking thing on the website, you're gonna get in trouble. Okay, I'm talking to those of you that are older than me. Okay, that sometimes don't pay attention to what they're doing. Maybe you haven't had your fifth cup of coffee. Stop clicking everywhere. Get what you need to get off this website and get the hell off of it, okay? The fictitious email or fake email, that's so if they decide to sign you up a bunch of crazy shit and start calling and this and that, then hey, you know what? They're only going to reach your fake email. Don't use your fictitious or fake email for signing up for housing authorities. That'll get you in trouble, okay? Nobody can contact you. So I'm giving my disclaimers here. There's nothing perfect in the world of the internet. Just be careful because a lot of you older cats don't get it, men and women. So moving on. So HUD Housing Network has done a fantastic job because they're for profit, okay? And they make it easier to expedite, get to the information without all the nonsense. Now, they have lots of pop-up ads. Click the X in the top right. Do not, and I repeat, do not collect $200 and go with that, okay? If you do, you're not going to like the result of that. All right, so let me link you up, guys. For those that want to go and have a nervous breakdown, I'd recommend go to Affordable Housing Online. They'll certainly give you some outdated nonsense. What drew the line for me with Affordable Housing Online, they were good about the first year, and then it just got to where the lot of shit they're posting, they're not paying attention, and then they allow landlords to post properties in there, and they're never taking them down whether they're filled or not. So now it's just turned into a big junk website. So I don't have anything against Affordable Housing Online. I don't personally recommend it. It's just a joke, It's already running wild. It's too big for them. And that's how it goes. Another thing ruined. So let me link you up, guys. HUD Housing Network. And I'm going to give you a direct link. First thing you're going to see is an ad. So go ahead and get on Google. Make you a nice fake old email because they're going to want you to log in. If you want to log in and read what they have, they'll give you most of it, but they won't give you the actual PHAs information. Or you can take and copy paste directly back in Google and then find the actual housing authority, navigate on their page, and then, of course, do that, okay? Good morning, guys. So here we go. I just linked you up there. You can also find the link in the description. The reason I'm releasing that is because, one, it's important. 2025, nobody was getting anywhere quick, okay? I've got clients. I've got a handful of clients love under casework. Well, what the hell's going on? I look, we just went through a tough October, November, and December where virtually nothing was moving. Housing authorities running out of business, going out of business, being investigated. They still are. And so here we are. So I'm going to jump on the website while we're here with you guys and show you a little bit of navigation. So again, look in the live video chat and then click on the link or copy and paste if you must. Section 8 waiting list right now. HUD Housing Network works closely with local housing authorities to bring you real-time updates for Section 8. I don't know if I believe that bullshit, okay? They don't work closely with anybody. They no more work close with the housing authority than I did, okay? They have the same phone line that I would have used, and half time you can't get them. That's why we had to send out so many legal demand letters. So as of Q4 2026, meaning the first quarter, there are 398 open waiting lists, and I'm going to go ahead and just go as California. So I'm going to select the California setting and search, and I'm going to bring them up because California represents probably the greatest demand in the market. And it appears right now there are 11 open waiting lists, and so I'm just going to go through them real quick. The city of Roseville has an open waiting list. The city of San Diego, the city of Anaheim, the Community Development Corporation of National City, which in some cases around the country, they don't call it a housing authority. They may call it a community development corporation. Housing authority in Cintas, and the Housing Authority of Reading, the Housing Authority of Santa Ana, Housing Authority of St. Paula, Housing Authority of Riverside, and that's it. And then for my folks out in New York, let's do you real quick if there aren't too many. So New York, New York, New York, where are you at, baby? Okay. New York, do a quick search. All right, let's see what we got for New York. Says they got 22 open waiting lists. Montyville Housing Authority in New York, Ellenville Housing Authority, Rochester Housing Authority, Auburn, Castasota, Coez, or yeah, I think that's Coez Housing Authority, Portland, Geneva, Herkenheimer. I'm gonna load some more. Hookasick, man, they got some weird names for New York. Hornell, Lyon Housing Authority, Lockport Housing Authority, Wanaton Housing Authority. Sound like some of these are Indian names. Plattsburgh Housing Authority, Southern Tier Environments for Living. See, that right there is not a housing authority. That seems like more like project-based or tenant-based. So there may be some errors here, but it's a hell of a lot less than Affordable Housing Online. A St. Johnsville Housing Authority, Town of Cologne, Town of Union and Community Development, that's a housing authority. And Unica, I believe, Unica Housing Authority, Village of Knack Housing Authority, Water. Man, they really have some good tongue twisters in New York. Waterville, City of New Rochelle, New York City Housing Authority, Niger. Good Lord, those guys are something. All right, so it looks like New Rochelle is actually closed. Okay, so that's your 22 from there. You can feel free to navigate through there. Look, it's straight and to the point on this website, and they do one thing they verify: the waiting lists are actually open. That's more than Affordable Housing Online does. They allow housing authorities to go in, place an open waiting list, but they never go back and close it out. So the website's just junk. You could spend a day looking at 1,300 open waiting lists when in reality there's only a few hundred. But you're going to spend 5 hours trying to figure out, clicking every fucking link just to figure out who's open. So that's why I don't really recommend Affordable Housing Online. It's a hot mess. If you let the nuts run the madhouse, then that's the first problem you're going to have. They take a different approach at HUD Housing Network, where they actually have their people verify it, and so they know the link's good. They don't let the nuts run the madhouse. And so I believe they make, as a poor profit, how they make their money is off landlords. And of course, if you click those ads, and I'm going to tell you something, HUD Housing Network, you need to pay attention to what you're putting ads up for. Okay, guys, you're allowing a lot of people running scams to advertise on your website. You guys need to take a look at that. It's one thing to earn a few copper pennies, but it's the quickest way to lose trust to people. So I do not recommend anybody click on any ads that are in the HUD Housing Network, because there's a high propensity for fraud. Now, I know they don't control the network ads. Google controls that, but scammers really lock on to ads in these type of websites. So I encourage you guys, make sure you exit out of that, okay? Let me post up the links again, and I'm going to give you both. If you want to be judicious and see both, if you must, I'm going to give you both main websites, but I'm recommending the first one. That's what I use. And paste. So there you go, guys. You got that information there. A couple more updates. As you may know, for those of you that were here for the open waiting list and information, that's been provided. Now, this is the part where I move on to something different. I'm going to talk about tomorrow's my birthday, January the 5th. It's a big day. Don't forget to wish me well if you can in the community page, me and the cats. And just so you know, I'm a horrible person. All my cats' birthdays are on my birthday, period. I don't care when they're born. It's easier to keep track that way. So all my cats were born on January 5th. I've always adopted that policy. It's pretty rude, but I'm not like my mother. I can't remember everybody's name and birth date. So I just assign everybody January the 5th. That's why all my cats have 3 names, like Kiki, Chi-Chi, stuff like that, because when it's dinner time and you call cats, I'm not going to sit there and call it 19 names. So you may be a Kiki or a Chi-Chi for the day, depending on what mood I'm in. I have other names too when I'm upset with my cats, but that's not fair to share that here. So, anyways, last thing I'd like to talk about is President Maduro of Venezuela. I don't rarely bring that type of thing in our channel, but I got to tell you guys, I believe all Americans right now are pretty stunned. Apparently, President Trump stormed the country of Venezuela, snatched the president and his wife, put them on a plane, okay, and goggles and hearing proof muffs, and flew their ass right to New York for detention and prosecution. I have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings about that because it shows how vulnerable just about anybody in the world is. Okay, if we could snatch a dictator from a country, whether he's a president or a dictator, if we can snatch his ass in the middle of the night, it makes us all think, what can happen. I also have other reservations. I have, I have a weird way of looking at things and thinking about them, but I have a great concern for those prisoners in over there in that country, Venezuela. They created a prison that's just short of torture. And I realize those are gang members and create problems, but I don't think anybody without any form of adjudication or anything, any law, any justice should be slammed in a cell with the lights on 24 hours a day and a life sentence simply because, they're not doing the right thing. They're fed, and that hundreds of them are dying. They don't even have clean water, and they're torturing people in there. I hope the president looks into that. I don't expect that we roll out a rug and champagne and drive the local prisoner to McDonald's, but incarcerating 1% to 2% of the population without any due process and then putting them in torture-like conditions is absurd. I realize our prisons are no joke in the U.S., but at least you have due process. I hope that he reviews that because that is absurd. I'm very worried, and many of those boys that are in there, and we're talking boys, teenagers I saw in there, don't have a single tattoo on them, and they're in there for life, and just no reprieve, beaten within the inch of their life, and just torture clean to death. And so, I hope that the president considers some type of judicial system to help hear cases over there because, man, 1% of the population is pretty bad. And I mean, they have a reputation over there of removing anybody that talks against them. If any cop had a vendetta, it's well served. He can just put anybody he wants, his neighbors in prison, and then they never get out. They never get heard or seen again. And this is crazy. It makes me lose sleep at night. And I know it seems weird to worry about prisoners, but there's no way that 1% of the population of Venezuela committed crimes serious enough to be given a life sentence, trapped in a box, and then that be the end of it. And so I have great concern for those people because at the end of the day, tattoos or innocence, these are human beings, man. And what's going on there is horrible. It's horrifying. It makes me lose sleep. I've never seen shit like that. But also, I've never seen people get snatched in the middle of the night either. And so that's the vulnerability. But I guess he did have options. I believe the war there for Venezuela is the president's intending on taking control and running the country. So America just grew by an additional state, at least for now. We have 51 states now, including Venezuela. Well, apparently, we're going to run that country. We're going to suck all the oil out of it. And I suppose when that's gone, we're supposed to leave. Now, according to the administration, that there was an agreement. The country screwed the oil companies back in the 80s. And so they want the money back. And of course, I imagine that every gallon of oil pumped out of Venezuela will be repayment for us popping bombs in their country. A bit unfair, but the victors always do write the story, don't they? So it just seems very surreal. I don't know how anybody feels about it, and I'm not for or against the president or for or against Venezuela, but it's just so surreal because it makes you think just how freaking vulnerable you really are. I mean, what's to stop us from snatching Putin or even the Chinese president? They come in your country and man, whop, bam, and pop, and you're gone. That's it. And so Mr. Maduro is probably scared. And I know many of you either like him or hate him. So he's got to understand at this point he's probably going to be put in a box, a windowless box, and he'll never probably see the light of day again. It'd have been easier for him to walk away from that country. He's got to be. He and his wife have got to be frightened to shit right now because we don't have an easy legal system either. You know, there are lots of people that have been proven to be innocent that have spent 40 years in prison. I'm not saying Maduro's innocent, okay? So don't confuse the conversation here. But it just it just seemed the vulnerability, you know, and here we are. And part of the reason from 2000 till now, this country is in so much damn debt is we keep going places. I will admit he did this with precision, and no money is going to be lost because I guess we're going to recover that in oil. So there's no loss there, but it seems like the next agenda is going to be the collapse of Cuba because they have no oil from Venezuela. And I'm pretty sure that if Iran even parts the wrong way, I suppose we'll snatch his ass too. But at a certain point, we have to think about sovereignty. You know, I don't remember the Venezuelan people asking our country to do this. I don't remember an outcry that required this, but so I don't know. I'm not the president. I don't make these decisions. I'm just a lonely retired Section 8 consultant, you know. But you know, you think about these things at night, and I hope at the very least we do something that's appropriate in terms of, you know, those prisoners over there and other people that have been political refugees. And I have great concern for the Americans they've arrested in Venezuela. This is the dangers of that. I hope we go down and get them people, and it's not a negotiation. You don't give us those Americans, then it's going to be a big problem. You know, it's not a time to negotiate. So I'm bringing this up because I'm like any human being. I have a platform in which I can speak, and so this worries me. All of it worries me, for better or worse. You know, and so I thought I'd bring it to the table. I'm sure you guys have reserved an opinion. You're here for other things. So back to the main story, guys. Birthday's tomorrow, and I think I'm going to go down and go have a birthday dinner. And I wish I could bring my cats, but the restaurants won't like that. They'll tear everything up. I have one other announcement that I'm 50% sure on at this point. I may have screwed myself again with the new cat. I rode by that gas station again where she was rescued, and I gleaned a bit of more information about our cat. It turns out that gas station's a well-known area for cat drop-offs. So I've got a big heart, and I'm a sucker when it comes to that. So I'm driving around the gas station. There's 8 more cats about her age. Apparently, she was one of 8 cats, you know, and apparently the PHAs, that's the restaurant there, was feeding them. I guess I kidnapped the cat because it probably didn't need my help, so I felt like a fool driving back. But I do love Diamond. She's part of our house now. And it does explain her voracious appetite. You know, she eats bacon bits, salad, yogurt, anything. She despises cat food. She's high energy. If you don't play with her at night, she'll jump up in the air and she'll bite my toes. She actually wrapped herself around my leg and started biting all the way up my calf up to my upper leg until I went and got the damn toy. Normally cats get bored with toys. She does not. She expects this as a workout every fucking night. Okay, if I don't do it, then she will bite my toes and legs until I do. So she's got me trained on this fucking toy that I deeply regret from buying from Amazon because now it's going to be a ritual in the house. If I don't give the toy, then I get bit, you know. And the other thing is, she understands what the icebox is. Every time I open the fucking icebox door, guess what Sally does? She jumps in the bastard, and it takes me 15 minutes to get her out the refrigerator because she knows where the good food is. Because the people at Popeyes in the gas station was feeding her everything from cheeseburgers, burritos, and pizzas. So now every time I have a meal, I have to lock it down. You get a cheeseburger, let me tell you something. She got a hold of one cheeseburger and it was gone. She flew under the bed with it. So all I had for lunch was, you know, just a little fry and a drink. She already had the cheeseburger because my fat ass can't get under the bed like that. So I had to call a buddy of mine to come get what was left of the cheeseburger from under the bed. The reason I say that, there's a space, but it's not good enough. And I'm not going to lift a king size bed to go get a cheeseburger. Oh God! So that was my night. So I'm hoping to enjoy my birthday tomorrow. Story of fat people, right? We have issues. So thank you guys for telling me happy birthday. Let me repost the links for the waiting list. You see? Oh, it's going to get worse. Okay. Not only am I long-winded and fat, but now I put all my shit in the street because you know why? I don't have a lot of important things to talk about anymore because I don't run a company. But I mean, I have a lot to share, clearly. But a lot of my videos are going to be mixed with long-winded stuff. Probably annoy most of you guys and the stories. Oh, the great battles I fight with the cats, and of course the cheeseburgers that disappear, and every other idiosyncratic thing I can bring up in the channel. So get ready. Oh, thank you for the happy birthday. So let's go ahead and go back on the comments here and thank everybody, and then we'll start wrapping the video up. And I thank all of you that sit here and listen to me ramble on. But I did provide some good information for 10 minutes. I can't account for the other 16 minutes of rambling. So Cheryl, Phoenix is open, heard New Year's. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. M. Hamilton, good morning. Sean, good morning. Maria Betty, good morning, and welcome to the channel. Silver Fox, welcome back. Big Kahuna reminds me of Pulp Fiction when they had that Kahuna burger. I believe that's a Hawaiian burger. B Savage, good morning and good afternoon to you. Tony Williams, morning, Jay. Going to grab a cup of coffee. Be right back, my guy. Oh, well, good. Some of you find me humorous, some of you don't. I had somebody tell me to shut my fat face. Unfortunately, they could no longer talk in our channel. For me to shut my fat face, I had to shut theirs. So every time they click on comment, there's no way to do it. Lady Tramega, that's an interesting name. You have to tell me what that's about. Hello, my first time turning into your channel and watching your videos. I need help getting into housing permanently. I live with a toxic so I need to go get some eyeglasses. I'm struggling here to read this. A toxic family. Okay. Hey, you young cats, when you tell me things, please don't use the new acronyms. I don't know about all that shit. You'll take a whole word, you reduce it to one or two letters. I didn't recently graduate high school, so I don't know when you're telling me, when you abbreviate shit down like fam and other things, y'all got to work with me a bit, okay? I need at least 4 letters to be able to figure out what the hell you're talking about. Karen knows, Jay and Cats. Well, if you need help, reach out to my office. I can consult you, okay? By appointment, but I don't do casework. Just to be clear, my retirement, I'm not doing casework. I will talk to people. I will teach you how to help yourself, but I'm not going to do it for people anymore, okay? Karen knows, 100%. Kim Smith, Nilsson, good morning. Good morning to you. Looks like I posted a bunch of links. Anything in Beluga? Well, it's 398, brother. I'm not going to click through that, okay? It's like a phone book. There are 390 some odd housing authorities open. And as much as I love to say I have an idyllic memory, I don't. So you want to do your own clicking, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to charge you $1 a click. We'll find Beluga. I might even lie about it, just to make an extra dollar. But yeah, I advise you just check the website and see, okay? Jason Bennett, thank you for the $3. That will go into my cat's tuition fund. Mostly the $200 in cat food, treats, and medical bills I have to spend every month. So thank you. It won't be used for me, trust me. The cats will be the reason I'll probably be homeless in the end. They're going to run me out of house, home, and money. Real Nose 47, happy early birthday. Well, thank you. Violet Fusion, I like that name a whole lot. That was a very good choice for a YouTube name. Happy early birthday to you and the cats. Well, thank you. All my kikis and I share the same day. At least I'm not like some of those old women. They name all the children the same thing. Now you're really reaching with that. M. Hamilton, 8358. I am a little bit early in a Stevie Wonder voice. It changes. It depends on what form of bipolar I have for the day or schizophrenia. It just depends. There's a sleep Jay, there's pissed off Jay, There's Happy J. There's all kinds of J's, it just depends. Today is a good one. I'm doing my Stevie Wonder. Muskogee Land watching. Thank you. You said that kind of creepily. You kind of watch it in the back seat, huh? All right. So who else we got here? Hamilton again, laughing out loud. Mama laughing. Terry G, happy birthday. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts. I prefer the real ones. Government username, good morning. I love that name as well. I almost wished I'd picked it for myself. Joseph Berger, thank you. Okay. We got a little thumbs up emoji and a prayer emoji. Thank you. Quick update. I mentioned yesterday I was having some kidney problems. It wasn't. It turned out to be upper GI problems. Give y'all a little clue, guys. Don't run down. This is what I did, and most of you are going to think I'm stupid compared to what I do for a living. So, you see a TikTok ad, and they're talking about all these things that give you energy, okay? Well, I couldn't find this stuff anywhere normal, so I ended up having to go to a local shady shop, the smoke shop. So everything in there is dipped in weed, right? I told them, no, I don't want any action on that. I don't want any weed. So they give me some other stuff. Well, it turns out it was probably done somewhere in the forest of China. They chopped the shit up and put it in a bag, and a little bit of arsenic, a little bit of plutonium. And anyways, about a half a gram of that was supposed to kill inflammation that created it. So I got poisoned, and it caused a lot of problems. And thankfully, after some pretty extreme situations over the last couple of days, I've been able to clear it out of my system. But I don't recommend I recommend herbal things that you can find. So if grandma and your aunt recommend something herbally, that's fine. Don't go to the smoke shop. You'll get poisoned. Oh my God, I'll never do that again. All right. So I'm living in a small town, so that was the closest way I could find and get the remedy, but you don't know what's in that stuff. It's not even regulated. For all I know, I took it. They probably cut up some banana leaves in Brazil and put it in a bag, and I ate it, and that was that. All right. So, Mr. Good morning, Jay, and chat, and Happy New Year. Well, thank you. Dolphins, you are extremely funny. Well, that's how I feel some days. Okay. It's a love-hate relationship having my life. Mr. Thank you for the $5. So there we go. My first gift. How shall I spend my $5? I think we should have a cat giveaway, right? Make my life a little easier. So I think I'll take that $5 and I'll drink a cold beer. Thank you, Mr. You're awesome. Michi Mech. I like that. I'm watching on my TV at home on my cell phone, Jay. I've been watching your channel since 2024. Well, God, I'm probably sound a whole lot better, right? Now that I'm retired, Jesus has touched me and half my mental illness has left me. I got rid of my clients. I've learned a lot watching you. Love the show, the cats. Appreciate your 26 years of advice. Well, thank you. It means a lot. I don't think a lot of you realize what it means to sit there and do something for 26 years. I worked all the way, from 16 to 24. I spent 10 years on the street, which was the foundation of what I went on to be later in life. After that, I spent time with nonprofits, watched their scandals and gambits and help people. I took it from there and decided to become a HUD consultant, and in the end, I become one of the best in the country, hands down. And in the end, I was the last one remaining because I'm not aware of any Section 8 consultants left. There are a handful of firms around the country, but they only help landlords. So I was the last of the last. And seeing as the Trump administration has changed the whole system, it made a sense that this would be a good exit because I'm not going to relearn my job to carry on. Clearly, the system is going to change, and it has. And so it's a once-in-a-generation change. I'm not going to relearn all that stuff, nor do I believe I should go on another 25 years. I will continue to consult and keep updates and make videos on the topic, but eventually I will be a lost cause and will not be able to keep up with the new stuff. But for now, I figure it would take 5 to 10 years to completely change the system before it would leave the realm of my understanding, okay? So in the meantime, while I don't perform casework and handle cases personally for clients, I do allow people to book appointments at our office for 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I consult them. I consult landlords. I still do court cases for attorneys and nonprofits and speaker events, when they are offered. What I don't do anymore is spend hundreds of hours trying to fix people's lives. I have to be honest, when you deal with 20,000 plus people over your career, a lot of this was self induced. In other words, a lot of people's problems were created by themselves. You put your ass in this situation and you ended up paying my office to get you out of it. It's a lot of it was poor decision making. Now, I'll never accuse a poor person from intentionally being poor because that would be the most ignorant thing to say. There were many more that had no choice. It was an honor serving our veterans. It was an honor serving every disabled person and any senior that was out there. It was not the greatest honor serving those that were outside of that because a lot of it I felt very mixed about and was uncertain whether or not I was parenting these people, giving them an unfair advantage when they probably did not deserve it. But it was my job to be good at what I did. That's why so many people hired me. I don't think people understand that. I took a rather impossible situation for many people in America across all 50 states, to about 20,000 plus, and gave them a ridiculous advantage. Destroyed hundreds of housing authorities legally, and a lot of it was thankless. People got exactly what they wanted, and I never heard from them again. Without me, they'd have been on the street, and they would have languished in homeless shelters and on sidewalks for an eternity because they simply did not demonstrate the intellect it would have taken to fix their own problems. There's my cat howling. Papa's, come on, Bubba. He's in a mood today because, the big announcement. I was going to bring the last part of this, probably bring the video to a wrap. Diamond may be pregnant. This is why I'm having some deep regret today. Her nature, she's eating 4 times as much. She's growing a bit of a stomach. And damn it, if I went through this 3 years ago. I rescued 2 cats. Both of them were pre-pregnant before I got them. They were the gift card was already loaded with money, cats. And we ended up having 2 pregnancies 9 days apart and 33 flipping cats. And let me tell you, I had more breakdowns and mental adjustments during that period. It was even harder to find homes for half of them. And then, of course, I've got my neurotic male cat in a whole stew of females. So he's yodeling. It's a big party for him. He's like a dictator. He's got all these women, and I've set up a horrible situation for him. See, he's still howling. He knows how to press the button. He's waiting for me to say a bad word. There's one magic word I can tell Pops, and that's the F word. When he hears that, he means I know business. We mean business in the house. Pop, stop, please. Now, he has a cat hole in that door in the back, but he wants a butler to open the front door. This is what all this shit's about. He can easily go through the door, but see, the front door is a magic porthole. They've even figured out a window in the bathroom. When I did it for fun one day and I turned that into a routine, it's a magic porthole to somewhere magical. Like you'd have a 3-year-old. Well, if you go through this door, you'll be on another planet, right? And so my cat believes that every day, 8 times a day, I should go open the door for him, despite having a hole in the door in the back. And so we go through the madness. So yes, I may very well have mental health problems. He's still going to do it. So I'm going to have to wrap it up because once again, my cats dictate a lot. This is why I have to get in my car and drive to other places in the middle of the night because I can't handle it some days. All right, Michi, happy birthday. Well, thank you so much. Looks like there's a Phil says happy birthday. Well, thank you. Hollywood Boulevard, the United States is now running Venezuela. Can I use my Section 8 voucher in Venezuela? Well, you could do that, but the villagers may come out with torches and machetes, and you may not like the reception you get, okay? There might be some community development. I don't think it'd be wise to vacation in Venezuela. At least if you should at least see your attorney and pick out the color coffin you want, okay? Let me tell you something. Venezuela's a different world, okay? These people they're good people, but let me ask you a question. If Venezuela's president came over here and snatched Donald Trump on a plane and brought him somewhere different, okay? Would you, if you were Venezuelan, would you want to come and move to America right now? Because I'm pretty sure I know what Americans would do. You wouldn't even get the key in the doorknob before you would probably be raped, beat up, and then killed and hung from a tree somewhere in the neighborhood. Okay, so no, I wouldn't. Want to use. Don't try to use your Section 8 voucher in Venezuela, because if you value your life, it probably is not a good idea right now. They're not accepting applications over there. Okay, they're like America. We're closed. So please don't. I really don't want to see you leave in a banana leaf coffin. You go down to Venezuela talking all that shit, man. I'm telling you, you won't even make it down the street, and people probably kill you. Okay. So, but thank you. It creates wonderful commentary. Pop, please shut the fuck up, please. Yes, I talk awfully sometimes in my cats, but he made me use the F word, and he stopped. That's the magic word. No other word works. He's carried on for 11 minutes. Diamond, go get him. Get him. See, Diamond will drive my male crazy. I know what's going on around her. She's in heat. She's probably pregnant, and now it's going to be a wild party in the house. Yep, she just attacked him. Thankfully, he's a male. He'll get over it. Oh, goodness. We appreciate you. Happy retirement. Well, thank you. It's already very happy. Government usually keep it real. Yes, I do talk bad to my cats, damn it, but that's all right. I've had them a long time. They know I love them, but they also know there's a mental line before I snap. 11 minutes of yodeling. Like I said, there's a hole in the back door. I'm not doing the Bertler thing in the middle of the video. And look where he's going. He's walking with his head down right now, right to the hole in the back door. So I get manipulated in my own home. They're about the same with my clients during the years. They try to manipulate me to work quicker. Rob, happy birthday. Well, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Government username, keep it real. And Renee Scales, happy birthday, Jay. Well, thank you. Hollywood, Fest Boulevard. Haha, I'll stay in Hollywood. Go ahead. Enjoy your stay in California. That's where isn't a dozen eggs about $68 out there? And I hear y'all renting broom closets for $2,000. I'm going to California because there's lots of gold out there as a retirement plan. I like to pan a little gold for fun, but I'm going to do it from my travel trailer because even I can't afford California. I can't even imagine how you drive through McDonald's. That fucking Big Mac's going to cost you $28. Ain't no damn way. I just keep on driving. I'd hit other cars trying to get online. I'm not paying California prices. Okay, we do it Texas style. $1.99. I can't. I'd be homeless in California. Seriously, I'd arrive there. Me and the cats be homeless within a month. Ain't nobody can afford to live there. Try comedy. You're funny. Well, I think comedy mixed into this is important. It lightens the mood because I know a lot of people arrive here are pretty desperate for answers and desperate with their housing. So it's good to lighten the mood a bit. Donna, finally, your love, your info is unbelievable. You have those beautiful cats. Yeah. Well, they're beautiful, but they're just like children. They're cute when you don't own them. Okay. That's why grandparents do so well. You bring the kids over as visitation. I have to live with my cats all day. You don't see diarrhea on the floor, piss on everything you own. You never seen your leather coat turned into pleather where they shred it or poke holes on it or they piss in your shoe. You're not there for psychiatric breaks. So they're all cute and fuzzy till you fucking own them. Not to mention you wake up and you cough up a fur ball, or your people think you're a meth addict when they see your legs and you're trying to explain to them, I don't smoke meth. This is my fucking cat biting me on my legs. I'm not, I don't have but even your doctor starts to question it, right? So yeah, it's cute, but until you own it. This is full-time ownership, comes with a mental health plan. All right, government using them. You got to be rich to be homeless in California. Well, even the rich are on the street. I had people in San Francisco during the pandemic that were sleeping in their BMWs. Now that would have made for a perfect poster. And a guy called me, told me a story. Lost a really good job, making about 280 a year. Guy was sleeping in his BMW. Wanted help from me. I was like, "You got your mind, man? Nobody's going to help you with that. Sell your car. Become a real homeless person. You're just a part timer. Okay? Sell the car. Come back to me when you ain't had a shower in a week. You'll know when you're really homeless because nobody will want to talk to you, help you. That's how you know you've arrived, is when people look at you with judgment. That's when you've arrived in homelessness. Let's be real. And that's what I told him to call me again. I guess he never did reach the moment of judgment. So you couldn't help him. Not when you're sitting on a $90,000 car. All right, Mr. Mister, everyone in the chat, please show Jay some love. Well, thank you, Mr. Mister. I like Mr. Mister. He always is a good organizer in the channel. I think I'm going to make him a community monitor. He's always here. So we always enjoy Mr. Mister. Rob, Little Demons, my man, chair looks like a penguin. Oh, yeah, my $400 chairs, they get shredded every year. These are posturepedic chairs, what you need when you're real fat. That way you don't have to sit teepee style and break your leg, right? So they get up here, pop 1,000 holes in the chair. I tried covering it with a blanket, but then my cats got smart. They go, "Oh, look, fat boy, I'm put a blanket over the chair." So what did he do? The cats creeped up the back, sunk the claws in there, and tore the shit out of it. I come out of my bedroom in the living room. I have a psychiatric break along with breaking a few things in the house because I could not figure what I could do. And since I don't do domestic violence with cats, I was left, with a very serious health crisis. Even my neighbor, like, maybe you should see somebody. I said, what am I going to fucking tell them? I have cats. So why they've chewed up $1,600 worth of chairs in my career. So, and I got another one like my little cat Bunny. He lays in the chair. You got to watch it because he's incontinent. So he pissed all over the chair. I'm running to get in the video. You know what it's like to make, you're long-winded. You make an hour-long video like I'm doing right now, and you got to sit in cat piss for an hour because you realize your ass is wet, but you can't stop the video. You got a pint of cat piss. I mean, your jeans are soaked. Your drawers are soaked. You can feel it on your skin. But because you're long-winded and you don't know and you can't shut the fuck up, you make these long videos like I do, and then you're stuck with pee burns. I'm committed. I'm committed to making the video. Can you find out your friends are really there? Okay. Can you find out your true friends really are there? There ain't much out there. I've only got one true friend, and recently I quit speaking to him. I've got acquaintances, You come in the world alone, you're going to leave alone, okay? I'll be happy with if I could get a Google rating from my cats when I leave here and go somewhere else. I'd like for them to speak to me and let me know whether or not I was a good cat owner. That's all I need. I don't really care about the rest. Maybe see my mother and my grandmother if possible. That's it. Friendships, whatever you make it. It is my philosophy in life is it's good till it's not. Because as humans, we're all going to fail at some point, even in friendship. All right, last person. Meet you laughing out loud. Yep, I know. So that means you agree. You sympathize with my situation. Well, guys, I'm going to move on with my day, and we'll see you again in a couple of days, and I'm going to go enjoy my birthday tomorrow. I'm sure that all my annoying clients will try to call tomorrow. Right as I put a little steak in my mouth, they're going to, excuse me, I don't understand why I don't have a voucher. Well, you fucked your life up to start with. That's part of the problem. Maybe you should wait till after I'm done with my birthday dinner. I'm just joking, guys. Well, look, I've enjoyed talking with you. Let me post the last few links here, and then I'm going to get on my business and get out of here. All right, so there you go. There are 398 open waiting lists across the country. I recommend the first of the two. and I'll be posting short videos about open waiting lists for the bigger cities starting this afternoon. Because despite making this whole video and rambling on endlessly, I'm going to have probably over 100 idiots ask me, well, excuse me, Jay, do you know of any open waiting lists? And then I'm going to have another psychiatric break because despite posting an hour-long video, some bastard's going to roll into my channel, leave a comment. Do you know if there's an open waiting list? And then you see why I treat people badly? They ask the stupidest fucking things. Mark my words, somebody's going to come in this video and ask, is there an open waiting list? Or have you heard of one? Despite all the efforts, right? I get that all the time. So I don't know. Maybe that's ADD or something where you just watch 1 second and then you make it my job to somehow give you information. I think not. Okay. This video was paid for and sponsored by me. I'm not going to work in the comment section to help you get past your mental health crisis. Okay. All right, guys. I've enjoyed it. I love you guys. We hope to see you again. We'll bring more cat mysteries, psychiatric breakdowns, and also waiting lists. I'm hoping to address living aids next time. And man, I got a lot of good stories to tell you about that because it's kind of like when you go to the airport and you find something naughty in somebody's luggage. There's a lot of naughty stories about living aids. So you'll want to be around for that one. I'm not going to pull any punches. Like I said, I no longer have a non-disclosure. I'm retired. I can talk all the shit I want. I'll see you guys again for the living aid and debauchery. Y'all have a great day.